Y ahí Jalisco los tamaños, qué bonito es Jalisco.
Folklorico is not a hobby. At least, for the true dancer, it isn't. It's a big part of our lives. It defines who we are to a certain extent. It's something that requires sacrifices. It's about performing the dance with passion, love, and a great respect toward our culture.
You know, Folklorico in general, there's like all these different regions, there's different states within Mexico. And within each state, there's different types of regions. Like there's certain, like for Sinaloa, there was mestizo, which is more of a, which is more like a little more, I want to say like a little slower, but like it's a little more down versus Costa on the coast, which is a little more like upbeat, you know, you're really getting into it. And of course, these regional differences do have different costumes also. So, like learning about just this, the history of Mexico itself through dancing is also a bonus, because you're learning about all these different states, different regions, and it's not like you're just dancing, you know, you're learning about the outfit, the background to it.
Gloria Ansaldúa presents this border theory in which two objects come together, not to create a mixture, rather, to create a new entity or new being. When two different cultures come together, something new is made. Where there are defined borders, a person between the two borders creates a borderland, where there is nothing definite, where everything is fluid. For some, it's a choque, or a clash. For some, it could be referred to as an open wound. Latinos, Hispanics, Mexican Americans, Chicanos, all have had to deal with a choque. All have had to deal with the wound that scarred our families. As folklorico dancers, we embrace our borderlands. We take what has been passed down to us from our ancestors, from generation to generation, and present it to the world as our own. We recreate and share the history that those who have come before us have left with us to be heard. We are the new creation of two different beings.
I'm a fifth generation Mexican American living in the U.S. I don't speak Spanish that well. So for me, like the culture for me was a little taken away from me, kind of. Like I didn't have that much of a connection to it. So for me to experience this dance, folklorico, which is traditional Mexican folk dancing, it was a way for me to reconnect through my Mexican culture. You know, like it's not like, so I won't be that Americanized type person. Like I don't know nothing about where my heritage comes from, where my culture is. So for me, it really helped me like take back what I lost. So there's an African ancestry also that a lot of people either don't know or don't want to acknowledge. And within, like I believe Guerrero, there's also a lot of African influence as well. Within the northern states, you learn that there's a lot of German influence from the polkas, the accordion and whatnot. You learn about all these different types of influence throughout Mexico, because Mexico itself, a lot of people from Europe and Africa did come to Mexico, and they populated these areas. So a lot is a mixture of different types of culture, traditions and whatnot, combined to make this new Mexican cultural tradition that was basically created when the Spanish came over back in the 1500s. And that it basically developed throughout that time period to what it is today. So, you know, it's not like, oh, this is how it was. Like this is really new from the colonization of Spain, of how everything commingled and combined into one unique culture, which is the Mexican culture. So it's not just you're not just dancing, you're learning. So that also, you know, for me, like that's value for me for staying, because I am learning about these things that I would not learn in the classroom, or out there in the world. You really have to be involved in something specific that you learn these things. It's demonstrating on stage that heritage of past generations, that this is what it is. I'm going to show you what it is. I'm going to teach you so you can witness what this means to me, like how much I feel for it. So for me, it's about teaching these generations of students, of young children, of just adults watching in general, like what Folklorico is culture, not just some dance you do on stage. No, it's something more. That's what I want. That's what Folklorico means to me. It's a teaching mechanism to try to preserve the culture and heritage of my Mexican ancestors.